Hello guys, Dr. Marie. I have to even remind myself it's not Dr. B, it's Dr. Marie, because this boy kept telling me every time, Dr. Marie, not Dr. B. So we'll leave that alone. This is just following part 2 of respect who you've become. Alright? As we discussed on that last video, we talked about, tell me who your friends are, or tell me where you hang out, and I'll tell you who you are. But today our society has become so materialistic. I don't know if you've taken notice, and if you haven't, I know you live under a rock. Definitely, because it's been the society has changed, has modified itself to be so materialistic that it's like as if people would instead tell me what you drive and I'll tell you who you are, though driving something does not really define who you are, but that's how people perceive it. If you know the attitude you get when you drive into a place with a little raggedy car that's like king 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 king, and you pull in and people look at you like, okay, no matter how sometimes you may look good or whatever have you, or may look average, and you see the attitude. Whereas when you come in a car that's shiny and everybody's just like, whoa, even if they've seen that car 1,000 times, but the fact that it's like, oh, that kind of a car, like, okay, this person has money. In the meantime, this person could have been just the person who took the car to the car wash. But people are so materialistic that, just their way of thinking is completely messed up. But I wanted to also mention, because we're trying to sit on the idea of respect who you've become. A lot of times the point I'm trying to make with this is that you got to stay consistent with the things that you say you have in your mind, in your dreams, the things that you would like to accomplish. You have to remain consistent to them. If you want to go to school, you can hang with the people who are dropout, or people who don't want to go to school, people who hate school. I remember someone who used to say, oh, I want to accomplish this thing. I want to go to school. I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. And this person used to say that when I was a kid. I'm talking when I was a kid. And eventually, by the time I grew up, I graduated multiple times. And this person was still saying the same thing they said when I was literally, a minor. And as I became an adult, I tried to help them out. And I try to say, okay, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to go about it. This is, but because this person never changed their environment, they never balanced their environment, they never respected who they became, because at the time the person told me that it's because a change was going on in their lives, that was an opportunity for them to utilize that growth, utilize that momentum where they were growing. They should have taken that opportunity to grow and become that person they were trying to become. Instead, they kept procrastinating. They kept hanging with the same people, and next thing, what do you think happened? Nothing. The same thing. They're just the same repetitive, empty promises. Excuse me. That's all that stayed in. Nothing else happened. Have you ever known someone that would tell you, oh yeah, I want a good relationship, I want something to work out, and I'm gonna do my best, I want this to work, and then in the meantime, later one day playing games, they having like multiple girlfriends. No, you gotta remain consistent. You gotta respect the person. When you're saying something, when you're being honest to yourself, and you're telling your truth, when you're saying, you know what, this is the year, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to do whatever that is that you promised yourself. I'm going to be a more honest person, I'm going to stop lying, I'm going to stop, whatever it is that you promised yourself to do. You have to be consistent. You have to find a way to be consistent with it. Because when you're not consistent, you end up meeting other people that's going to pull you away from that goal, from that prize, from that possible outcome. And then it's not going to happen. Then you're just going to keep procrastinating, thinking that, okay, eventually this is going to happen. But it's not going to happen on its own. It's going to happen because of the effort that you put into it for it to happen. So I mean, for examples, I could go on and on and on and on about the many things that sometimes people do that's not consistent with what they say that they wanted to do. I remember there was someone I put so much effort in to help them out to budget their life. And then, that person was doing really good, and we are just like, oh wow, keep it up and everything. Next thing you know, the person went and bought a car that they could not even afford. Not only did they bought a car they could not even afford, there was no need for the car because this person had no children, but yet bought a car that had like a third row seat. Why would you have a third row seat in a car, but you don't even have one child? But the person felt the pressure from friends. We were like, oh yeah, that's a beautiful car. That's like, wow, that looks like you. So the person got caught up in the moment, went and bought the car. But when you have to gas up, your friends are not going to be there. Your fanatics, they're not going to be there when you need to gas up, when you need to do oil change, when you need to buy tires. And eventually, because they needed to buy tires, they had to get rid of the car because it cost so much. So a lot of times people do things not because of something they need to do, but they do it because their environment, the little passies saying, yes, go ahead and do it. But then when you get caught up in the problem, you get caught up in the problem by yourself. So that's why you got to respect yourself when you're growing, when you've grown, when you've become another person. When I'm not saying like you just boom, you just change, you're no longer who you were, but I'm saying that when you make a commitment to become something greater than what you were, you have to learn to be consistent with it, because when you're not, someone somewhere is gonna come out of nowhere and pull you away from that particular goal that you had. So if your plan is to get married, is to find that person that you want, you desire, you want to spend the rest of their life, don't go play around with those little chicken heads. If those little bootleg scrubs, whatever you want to call them, okay, take that back. Don't go waste your time with people who care less about you, and then you're gonna wonder why you can't find the person you're looking for. Okay, if you plan to go to school, don't go hang out with the people who hate school. All they're gonna tell you is that they just hate school. So what do you think you're registering in your head? Maybe you too hate school. So I'm just saying, respect the person you've become. It's okay to become greater than you were. Because a lot of times when people talk about change and the person you've become, and they think like, oh my God, it's an insult to who I was. It's an insult to where I come from. It's okay to grow. So when you grow, you've become another person. You're not becoming, you have not become a different person from the body that you're in, but you've become wiser, you've become more educated, more informed, you've become more sensible to the situations that are going on around the world. You become, you have allowed wisdom to enter your head, enter your brain, enter your life. It's just, you've become something greater than you were before. So when you have those dreams and the plan is to reach them, when you have those plans, you have those commitments you make to yourself to become greater, continue to become greater. Don't let no one pull you back from where you were. There's a reason you don't want to be where you were. You want to become the person you are, and you want to become the person you're going to be. You are who you are today, and you're going to be something even greater tomorrow. So respect yourself enough and allow yourself to continue to grow. There's no reason why you should feel ashamed of who you've become. It is who you are. It is who you're going to be. So just do what you gotta do. You gotta clean the house, clean the house. Some people can continue to stay in your life. Some people might have to back up a little bit, especially when they don't learn to respect you, respect the dreams and everything else that you plan for your life. When people are laughing at your dreams, that's a clue. Maybe you should think about that. When people don't respect you when you say you're going back to school, when people don't respect when you say you're gonna try to have to improve your health, When people don't respect the little things that you sit and you share with them, something that's so intimate, and you see them laugh at you, that should be your clue. So be sure to balance your environment again. Find the proper people. Find the people that can celebrate you, celebrate who you've become, and look in the mirror. Respect the person you've become. All right? Dr. Marie, as always, it's a pleasure. Share, call a friend, have them listen to this, discuss it, send me a message. I'm always interested to know what you think. So thanks so much. Keep the constructive criticism, comments coming, and we'll keep in touch. Take care. Stay blessed.